at foreverstonememorials.com. Memorials that matter.
The Wissota 100, coming in September to I-94 EMR Speedway in Fergus Falls, promises to be a high-energy week filled with competitive racing, community engagement, and regional exposure. Wissota is looking for groups or organizations that would be willing to assist with parking cars. It's a great opportunity to be involved with a major regional event, support local racing, and be part of an energetic and fun environment. If your group or organization is interested, see wissota.org or call 321-251-1360.
It's Morning Talk on News Talk 1250 KBRF, brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. Now, here's Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop.
Good Wednesday morning. It is 11 after 9. Hoping everybody's having an excellent start to your day. How's it going, Mary?
Oh my goodness, it's already Wednesday.
It went
we
fast.
were talking about that on our walk this morning. I said, you know, when we're out there, we're like, oh, it's already Wednesday, you know, or it's already Thursday. And then the weekend comes and it's Monday. But you know what? I got to quit wishing time away like that, because the summer goes fast enough already.
It does.
Without saying, oh, I wish it was Thursday. Oh, I wish, you know, I mean, let's, I got to do better at that. I got to wake up and enjoy, just think, you know, oh, it's Monday. Oh, it's Tuesday. I've got lots to do today, fun things. And, you know, we talked about waking up in the morning and thinking about finding joy in one thing, at least to start the day out. And I think that's a good idea. I just think there's too much angry out there these days.
Too much angry, too much negativity.
Yeah, and most often, things that we can do absolutely nothing about, you know. But, yeah, I noticed it again today and yesterday on my Facebook feed. Some really good friends just really angry out there over I don't even know what, but it just amazes me. Now, you know, you and I have talked many times about the fact that even the very best idea, the very unbelievably carry out missions, the very best of the best things for this country, if Donald Trump is in charge of them, they are a horrible idea. They're terrible.
He could come out with a little vitamin that's all natural that cures cancer, and
it would be wrong.
40% of the country still say, nope.
You're exactly right. And this last unbelievable military mission to remove the nuclear capabilities in in Iraq, Iran, sorry. I don't know how anyone can say that was not a successful deal.
Well,
so
you have a large swath of the public that no matter who the president is, they are not going to agree with the military action, and it is that those people are heavily concentrated in the Democratic Party.
Well, exactly. But as we look back, even Democratic presidents in the past,
Yep. Clinton,
Obama, both have said, in addition to Reagan and both of the Bushes, said, oh, we can't let Iran have, we can't let them have those nuclear capabilities. We can't do it, but nobody really ever did anything to stop it until now. And then we have the Democrats starting to complain about, well, first of all, they're saying, nah, you didn't hit them all. I don't think it's as bad as I don't think you did as much damage as you thought. Well, what happened is somebody leaked that information to CNN, and it blew up. And it's absolutely not true. And they'll have people on the ground taking a look at what they did in fact do. But what I can't understand is how you can be against something. Would you rather just sit around? Would you rather have him sit on his hands and let Iran continue to build up those nuclear capabilities and be able to take us out in one fell swoop? Is that okay? Should we just leave it alone and hope it doesn't happen? Or should we take care of it should we be preemptive and take care of it before something awful happens?
And they always say, well, we got to go through diplomacy. They've tried. They've tried for years.
And over and over again. And Iran can't be trusted.
No.
It doesn't matter. It blows me away that the ceasefire has, maybe those were the wrong words in a ceasefire, but it surprises me that a ceasefire, it's although a little shaky.
A lull in hostility.
Yeah, but it held, overnight.
Because they didn't want Trump dropping another F-bomb.
Well, yeah, that's probably true.
They don't know
all
what
kinds
the
of
blank
bombs
they're
being
doing.
dropped
And I'm
in.
like, wow.
Well, yeah, it's just, it is amazing to me that, the division between the parties comes in front of the safety of this country. And that I find hard to believe. Here's something I thought I would never say is, who's the knucklehead? Well, maybe he's not such a knucklehead anymore. Was he from Philadelphia?
Oh,
the guy who always wears the hoodie.
hoodie,
Yeah, you know who I mean.
Yeah, I know who you mean. Last name starts with an F.
Fetterman.
Fetterman, there we go.
Yeah, okay. So we thought he was the biggest knucklehead alive.
Oh, yeah.
Turns out he's got more common sense than the entire Democratic Party
Yeah.
put together. Because he's saying, yep, we needed to do this. This was done well. Way to go. Well, there's one common sense guy on the whole other
And
side.
this is the guy that says suits make him sad.
I know. You know what? If you're going to talk common sense like that, go ahead. Wear your hoodies. Wear your shorts. I don't care. But if you're going to talk common sense on that side of the aisle, I'm all for it. But yeah, so it's pretty interesting. And it's like the whole Democratic Party, while this is for the safety of our country, they don't want it, and they're going to complain about it because it's not theirs. They want so badly to see Donald Trump fail that they would rather have him fail than protect our country.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Wow.
But like I said, that there's also a sizable element of that party that would react to this way if anybody did it. They just don't like the military,
I guess.
the action or the military conflict.
Okay, so if you think crazy isn't crazy enough, just be really, really glad that you don't live in New York. Did you see what happened in New York overnight?
No.
They, let's see if I can find this story.
Well, you look for that, I'll tell you who could iron everything out in the Middle East. You know who they need?
Who they need?
Greta Thunberg.
Oh, she could take care of it for sure. No, in New York, they had a Democratic primary
Yep.
for governor, right?
Yep.
And so Eric Adams, the current governor,
Yeah.
and he was a Democrat. He is going, now he says he will run as an independent.
He wasn't happy that they were trying to put charges on him.
Right. And then, but the guy who supposedly, I don't think it's for real yet, but Andrew Cuomo said, he conceded.
Yep.
And this guy, he's a Democratic socialist.
Oh, yeah, he's a socialist.
Yeah. So do you know what he's gonna? You know what he's running on? Free everything, free daycare, a freeze on rent. What are all the other frees? I mean,
Free buses.
yeah, free buses. Just all this free stuff, free, and then he says, you know how I'm going to pay for it?
Tax the rich.
I'm going to tax the rich. So just because you maybe you inherited money, maybe you've worked your tail off your whole life and built a great business and been a good business person and made a very, wealthy lifestyle, should you start paying for everybody else? Is that,
Well, I don't think they could tax wealth. They could tax income.
right, of course. And we all pay income taxes.
Yep.
But you can't just start taxing wealth just to pay for, that is the thing that, and especially, I don't know if it's young people who are trying to decide their political,
Idealistic.
their future. And wow, that sounds great. Oh, they could pay for my daycare and they could pay for this and that sounds great. Well, unless you put the label on it, which is socialism.
Yep. I was talking to Derek about this earlier, and I'm like, and what I need that guy to say is, all people are equal, but some are more equal than others.
Yeah, exactly.
Animal
and that's,
Farm.
I know, that's what he's talking about is equality. Well, guess what? It's not equal.
No.
Everybody is a little bit different. Everybody, I don't know. But I just think the crazy gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And they have a really unique way to elect.
Ranked choice voting.
Yeah, what is that all about?
There's several states that use that.
So does that mean that people have to keep coming back to the polls?
I don't think so. I think if you get enough points, but I mean it's your first choice, second choice.
Yeah, first and second choice, and so I think there were 11.
Yeah.
And then they knock off the guy who has the least. And then they do it again, and they knock off the next guy. I don't get that. They absolutely can't come to the polls that many times. I don't know how that goes, but anyway, I think it's a nightmare. And guess who is celebrating? Bernie Sanders and Alexandria AOC. I can't even hardly say her name. Can't hardly even look at her.
Cortez.
Yeah. Well, anyway, her and Bernie, two of the craziest people in the country.
Well, they're both socialists.
Yep. So yeah, they're putting their best foot forward to get this guy elected. So.
Well, I mean, Bernie kind of technically left the Democratic Party. He still caucuses with them, but he's socialist.
Yeah. Well, anyway, it just gets crazier and crazier because this guy sounds like an absolute zealot, just a nut. So anyway, be glad you don't live in New York. I guess we've got crazy here too. So Minnesota not too much better than California or New York.
You got walls out there. So.
Yeah. So has he declared whether or not he's going to run again?
No. Well, yeah, I think he has declared that he will. Is he still mulling it over? I think he's hinted that he's going to run again, but when it comes down to it, he's going to run for president.
Do you think so?
Oh, that ego? Yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
You've got to have
After
an ego
being
that big.
absolutely made a complete fool of this last round. And I think, well, I mean, there's a lot of blame to go around with that duo. But he certainly didn't help her chances of becoming president.
But some people they crave the attention. They crave the power.
Oh,
He's one of them.
let him run. Let him run.
He might get elected. Let's not let him run.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Oof, that would be terrible. Well, President Trump attended his first NATO summit since returning to the White House, and tensions over the Iran-Israel conflict. Trump criticized both Israel and Iran for violating a ceasefire, accusing them of overreacting. He told them they both just need to settle down. The summit agenda focused on getting NATO members to commit to increasing defense spending to 5% of GDP by 2035. So, yeah. And ICE is holding a record high 59,000 detainees, over 140% of its capacity. Nearly half have no criminal record, contrary to Trump's alleged focus on deporting dangerous migrants. Now, I don't know if you believe the news or not, but that's what they're saying. The detention population has risen 50% since the Biden administration, and ICE has expanded arrests, including through large-scale operations with other federal agencies. And I'm not exactly sure, you might have to look this up. I heard it on my way to town today, and I don't remember the source, but I think that they have arrested like 16 potential terrorists in this country since the bomb drop on Saturday night. And I don't know if they are all over the country or if that was California or New York or where that happened. But anyway, they have taken into custody 16 known bad guys who they are worried, might be terrorist cells here in the United States. So. Yeah,
11.
Okay, 11. Okay. And were they all over? Or doesn't it say? Yeah.
It says the Iranians arrested over the weekend were taken to ICE custody were all men who were living in the U.S. illegally. And where were they?
Yeah, it was an interesting story. So clearly everybody on high alert in the United States, especially big cities and military bases is another a place where everybody is really on high alert.
Yeah, I can't really
Yeah, they may be from all over. I know. It sounds like they've been following them
For a while.
For a while, and so they just decided with what's going on,
Let's take them in.
let's tie their hands a bit. Amazon is expanding its fast delivery network to over 4,000 smaller cities and rural areas. They're investing another $4 billion by next year. Aims to provide same-day or next-day delivery to these underserved communities, and they say it will transform some lives in some of these smaller areas. The move comes as Amazon faces increased e-commerce competition and ahead of its 96-hour Prime Day event starting July 8th. I don't know about you, but I think that whole Prime Day thing is just a bunch of bunk.
Yep.
I never find anything on Prime Day. And you know what else gets me is Amazon never alerts you to the fact that your membership is coming due. They just take it out of your account. And now it's $149.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy. And if I were to, delivery charges cost a fortune. And if you have Prime, most things are delivered free. And it doesn't take long to add up to $149. Sometimes you'll buy something and the shipping is higher than the product you bought.
Yep.
If you don't have Prime. So, I don't know. I can complain, but I never expect that $149 to come out. And then I think, well, where did all my money go? Well, there. That's where it went. Oh, boy. All right, coming up on 9:30, we've got more for you. Let's see. Turbulence in the air again. American Airlines has a flight that injured some people. We'll talk about that and more on international travel when we come back on Morning Talk.
Back with more Morning Talk with Mary Dolan and Dave Bishop. Brought to you by Pioneer Care and Fergus Falls Monument Company. After the markets on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
Hungry for a deal? FergusFallsDeals.com has your next meal covered. Dig into local favorites like the Gobbler Grub and Pub, VFW Post 612, and Hillbillies Depot. Savor a bite at Big Whitey's Bar and Grill. Farm-to-table flavors from La Ferme in Alexandria. Discover decadent tastes at Parallel 46 or the famous Broaster Chicken at the Purple Palace. Feed your cravings and save at FergusFallsDeals.com.
At FergusFallsDeals.com.
Community is important, and you'll find it at Pioneer Point. Spacious apartments, thoughtfully designed for older adults, provide the best in senior living. Heated parking and elevator access makes life easy. Your neighbors at Pioneer Point hold a welcoming, family-like approach to living. Choosing from an array of special features and options, you'll find many ways to define your lifestyle at Pioneer Point. Call or schedule your tour online today at pioneercare.org.
KBRF presents Where to Eat, the culinary adventure, sponsored by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food in Fergus Falls.
Hi, I'm Zach Daniels.
And I'm Dave Bishop, your guide to the region's culinary treasures.
Join us as we explore various restaurants, uncover delicious meals, and highlight each restaurant's signature dish.
Experience diverse cuisine types, unique atmospheres, and must-try dishes. Check it out on KBRFradio.com and the Fergus Now app.
New episodes air every first Friday of the month. Where to Eat, powered by Dandelion and Burdock and Service Food of Fergus Falls.
Aquarius Home Services brings you the Fix It Fun giveaway. Text the keyword home to 218-321-1926 and register to win $2,500 towards any new system purchase or upgrade. This is your chance to replace or upgrade your home heating, cooling, or water treatment system, or tackle large plumbing or electrical project. Get registered now by texting home to 218-321-1926 for the Fix It Fun giveaway. Thanks to Aquarius Home Services, your local heating, cooling, water treatment, plumbing, and electrical experts.
Sunrise Rotary is dedicated to improving the lives of others through a variety of health, hunger, and humanitarian efforts. This year's international project is the Farm and Health Security of Mount Selinda, Zimbabwe. Sunrise Rotary of Fergus Falls donated 2 farm tractors to the community of Mount Selinda in 2014. However, the tractors are in need of repair. With your help, new tires, replacement parts, and maintenance supplies will be sent to ensure the continued success of this project. This message has been brought to you by Fergus Falls Chiropractic.
There's lots of gear to help you fish, but make sure you pack your guides in your tackle box. Listen to Todd and Phil from PT's Guide Service during Gone Fishin', presented by Frontier Marine and Power Sports. Gone Fishin' helps you land more fish by letting you know the techniques that are working on area lakes. Listen in as PT's Guide Service shares a boatload of experience. Gone Fishin' can be heard right here every Friday afternoon at 5:25, presented by Frontier Marine and Power Sports. Listen in this Friday and let people know you've gone fishing.
Find out why the markets are moving. Get in-depth ag information with the Red River Farm Network on News Talk 1250 KBRF. Depend on it.
Today on Hot Talk with the Ox, right away, hear any developments on the Israel-Iran conflict. Is the ceasefire holding? How is Congress responding after their briefing on Iran was canceled? Also hear about Trump on the first day of the NATO summit. At 4:06, hear what beer Ray has picked out on Why Not Wednesday with the Boulder Tap House. Then hear fellow Ox listeners' Why Not. Tune in to Hot Talk with the Ox today from 2 to 5 on KBRF.
What's the Ox say?
Easy Open's been your garage door crew for years, and now they've got a door of their very own right here in Fergus Falls. Don't miss the grand opening on Thursday the 26th from 3 to 7 for food, fun, and giveaways. Make it easy. Call 770-DOOR.
Live music this Friday at the VFW in Fergus Falls. Enjoy entertainment from Julie Lee and the White Rose Band, performing this Friday night after bingo. So grab your hat, throw on your boots, and head down to the VFW Post 612 on Washington Avenue in Fergus Falls.
Have you been considering switching to Buick but don't know which vehicle is best for you? The sales team at Minnesota Motor Company can help. This month, non-GM owners can receive up to $3,000 Conquest cash on new Buick vehicles. Plus, well-qualified buyers can get 0.9% APR. Contact the sales team for details. Buick, exceptional by design. Minnesota Motor. South Pebble Lake Road, Fergus Falls.
Agronomists and extension specialists, and get the latest update on the sugar beet crop. The Sugar Beet Report, Thursdays at 12:50, right here on the Red River Farm Network. Brought to you by Amity Technology, Beta Seed, Spin Aid from Belgium, USA, Vive Crop Protection, and Gowan Company.
More than 200 members of Congress are standing up for AM radio listeners. The AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act will keep AM radio in cars, because when cell and internet services are down, this free service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
July wheat Minneapolis is down 6 cents, 6.19. Chicago July wheat down 7.5. Kansas City July wheat down 9 1/4. July corn down 6 3/4, 409.5. December corn's down 6.5 at 422.5. July soybeans down 9.5, 1037.25. November down 8.25, 1028.75. In Winnipeg, July canola is trading 60 cents a metric ton higher at $6.94 even Canadian. June live cattle up $1.10, $222.70. August is up $1.27. August feeder cattle $1.27 higher at $303.52. September is up $1.52. July lean hogs down 20 cents at $112.02. August down 5 cents. This is the Red River Farm Network.
Don't you love where you live? Then let's take care of it together. Upstream is a Minnesota campaign to steward what we all value: clean lakes, healthy communities, and a future we can be proud of. Go to mnupstream.org/west-central to take the stewardship pledge and find simple ways to make a difference for our natural places. Because when we care for nature and each other, Minnesota stays special for future generations to come. Go upstream, because Minnesotans love where we live.
Local farmers. Lake Cabin Meat and Deli Company in Fergus Falls currently has open slots and accepting animals. They take the hassle out of processing and butchering your livestock. From custom cuts to expert butchering, they handle it all with care and precision. Serving Fergus Falls of the Lakes area, they're proud to support local farmers like you. Call or visit Lake Cabin Meat and Deli Company today to schedule your meat processing. Lake Cabin Meat and Deli Company, where quality meets tradition, on Highway 210 East.
I'm Derek Sidian with KBRFradio.com News. Join me live every Friday on KBRFradio.com or the Fergus Now app for the weekly news recap, where I recap this week's hottest local news and you catch up on what you might have missed. The live stream starts at 12:30 and will be available to watch after the stream ends. The KBRFradio.com weekly news recap is brought to you by Fergus Falls Monument, online at foreverstonememorial.com, memorials that matter.
The Wissota 100, coming in September to I-94 EMR Speedway in Fergus Falls, promises to be a high-energy week filled with competitive racing, community engagement, and regional exposure. Wissota is looking for groups or organizations that would be willing to assist with parking cars. It's a great opportunity to be involved with a major regional event, support local racing, and be part of an energetic and fun environment. If your group or organization is interested, see wissota.org or call 321-251-1360.
News Talk 1250 KBRF. Looking at our forecast for today, a little bit of rain, and we'll see a high early on of 68. Temps dropping down to 58 for tonight, 68 tomorrow's high, 79 sunny on Friday, 65, a little bit of showers and thunderstorms possible Friday night into Saturday night, and Sunday, all with a little bit of rain. Right now, Fergus Falls, a little bit of light rain, fog and mist, 59 as it is a morning talk. Brought to you this morning and every morning by our good friends over at Pioneer Care and at Fergus Falls Monument.
All right, more turbulence in the air.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you know, I think it was the last time we flew, I think it was going to Arizona. It got really, really rough, and they warned us that it could potentially be rough, but that is the roughest air I had ever flown through, and I have to say, I was a little nervous.
We were flying back from Florida, and we hit some choppy weather, but it wasn't too bad.
Well, anyway, that was unnerving for me. That's as turbulent as I need to ride through. Anyway, this one was worse, clearly. 5 people were hospitalized following unexpected turbulence on an American Airlines flight from Miami to Raleigh-Durham International Airport. These 3 flight attendants and 2 passengers had to be taken to the hospital for observation, and later they were discharged, so that's good. Passengers described the experience as chaotic, with one likening it to a roller coaster.
Whoa.
Yikes. The drop was that significant. Now, that would be scary. One man had injuries. Another guy was also knocked unconscious. A flight attendant sustained a broken arm, and another being burned by hot water that, came off the coffee pot or whatever. Some passengers questioned the pilot's decision to continue flying for over an hour after the incident, expressing uncertainty about the true cause of that sudden drop. So they were wondering, gee, is this the plane, or is this really turbulence, and is it weather related, and should we continue flying? We've got people who are injured We got broken bones back here.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then there is a study out there about Americans who are anxious about international travel. That would be me. I don't have any desire. I have a great desire to travel internationally. I just don't feel like now is the best time to do that. And I guess it depends on where you're going.
Yeah.
But they are saying that the majority, this study revealed that the majority of the people polled of Americans have decided, I'm not so sure about international travel anymore. So, and I don't know, what do you do? Do you say, gosh, I don't think that's very smart, or do you just continue to live and decide?
It all
"Nope."
depends on where you're going.
Yeah, I think so. Where would you not go right now?
Iran.
Israel.
Israel.
Yeah, I mean, those are places that just don't feel like that would be the greatest spot for a vacation.
No.
But you wouldn't. Do you have some international places that you would love to travel?
Oh, I'd love to go to Bermuda. Puerto Rico. I'd love
Yeah.
to go back to Jamaica.
Yeah.
I like the Caribbean.
Yep. And you would feel comfortable probably doing all those things.
Yeah.
When I think of international travel, I think of, Europe and some of the places I would love to go. Italy, Greece, probably Norway, Paris, I suppose, as long as you're on the route. All of those are pretty easy to get to and jump, from one to the next. But anyway, yeah, I think there's a lot of people that travel, groups that travel to the Holy Land all the time in Israel. And I don't know if that has kind of just been put on hold, or...
I'd sit that one out for a few minutes.
I think I might too. But anyway, it's interesting. They say the majority of the people, they don't give I guess they give some percentages here. They said that 94% of the people that they polled said they have traveled domestically, but they say that anxiety from potential travel disruptions, transportation methods, government policy, and safety perceptions are all things that they take into consideration and say, I think I might just go to Florida. So, I don't know.
Go to Florida, go up to the lake.
Yeah, and and I'm okay. I'm not one that likes to spend too many hours on an airplane. And to get to all those places, you have to sit on that plane for a long time.
Yep.
And I'm not, unless you can afford to buy business class or first class, it's not very comfortable.
Yeah, I'd love to go to, Australia,
Me
New
too.
Zealand.
But you know what?
I'm not going to do that flight.
No, me neither. And I don't even care if you're in business class. That's still, that's 24 or 28 hours on an airplane. Yeah. No, thanks. That's why people say, oh, I want to go to Hawaii. I'm like, nope, takes too long to get there. Yep. I did that a couple of times. That's like 9 hours-ish. And if I'm going to fly for 9 hours, I'm going to end up someplace other than Hawaii. I'm going to end up in Europe, or, if I'm going to put that many hours in, I'm going to end up someplace cool on the other end. Not that Hawaii isn't great, but whatever. Let's see. How about this one? Here's a study that reveals the amount of exercise it takes to offset prolonged sitting.
Uh-oh.
It's not as much as I would have thought. It suggests that engaging in 30 to 40 minutes of moderate to vigorous intensity physical activity can counteract the negative health effects of prolonged sitting. Doesn't tell us what prolonged sitting is.
Sitting on your butt for 8 hours at your desk.
Yeah, probably every day.
Yep.
I know. So 30 to 40 minutes
of
vigorous, high intensity physical activity daily. So 34 to 40 minutes a day.
Well, I'm dead.
I don't know. So there's another hour out of your day is what that's saying. And I don't know about you, but if I don't get going first thing in the morning, something will always get in the way during the day. Sometimes I've rolled over in bed thinking, oh, I just don't feel like going to the gym. I'll go at 4 o'clock this afternoon.
That
Well,
doesn't happen.
something always gets in the way. So, anyway, how about this one? Here's a morality question. Oh, I don't know if it is or not, but let me know if you think this is moral or wrong. Is being filthy rich immoral?
No.
Society views extreme wealth as wrong. Isn't that? I mean, we love to hate the people who have more than we do. A recent study examined how people across 20 countries perceive and judge excessive wealth. Feels like the left.
Yeah.
The research involved over 4,300 people from diverse nations. Contrary to expectations, the findings reveal that people in wealthier and more equal societies are more likely to view having too much money as morally wrong.
Hey, just gotta shake your head.
Yeah, I think so too. It sounds kind of like this guy who's running for governor in New York.
Yep.
I mean, yeah. He's just thinking that everybody that's rich, they should pay for everything for everybody else. I guess that's socialism. Anyway, they said that having too much money is morally wrong compared to those living in poorer, more unequal countries. Interestingly, the researchers noted a connection between political ideology and moral acceptance.
No.
I know, of excessive wealth, with conservatives being more tolerant. So,
I love how they frame that, with conservatives being more tolerant instead of saying with liberals being more intolerant.
I know. Speaking of that, I thought of one more thing that this guy, this socialist guy that it really looks like he's going to be the front runner, the Democrat, the guy they're going to choose. He wants to defund the police, and he wants social workers to come to your door if you dial 911.
Yes.
Wow, that's a good idea.
We got a bank robbery. Tell me how that makes you feel.
Do you know? Have they learned nothing?
They tried that in the cities. It failed miserably.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, let us send you a social worker. Do you know how many people would continue to go to school to be social workers if that happened? None. Who would ever want to respond to a 911 call in New York City? No, thank you. But he thinks that's going to be a good idea.
We got the hopped up junkie with a knife.
Golly, he is.
So what made you go down this path?
Tell me how that makes you feel. Oh boy, that is really something. That is where ridiculousness. It is so hard to believe. You couldn't even make that stuff up. And who thinks that would work? But enough people in that city voted to elect this guy.
Yep.
So what is going to happen? I mean, can Eric Adams survive running again? I'm not so sure that he can.
I don't know. He's damaged goods. That's why the Democrats didn't want him to run again. And plus, he's still angry at them going after him.
Right. Exactly. Okay. Let's see. I did find a couple of trivia questions for you today. Okay. With regard to a public school system, what was the first U.S. city to have a public school system?
There we go. Philadelphia.
Close. Boston. Okay. And Rioja, Rioja.
Okay.
Is that how I would say it?
I think it's Rioja.
It's a type of wine. I've never known how to say it. Comes from which country?
Let's go Spain.
Yeah. Good guess. Very good guess.
I guessed it was kind of a Spanish one, so I'm like, well, it's either
right.
Mexico or Spain.
Yeah,
Mexico or Spain.
Right. And a lot of good wine comes out of Spain. So that was a good guess.
That's a lot of wine that I can't afford.
Yeah, I know. And I'm not, what do I say?
A sommelier?
Yeah, I'm not a sommelier, and my palate is just not that...
refined?
Yeah, I think refined is a good word.
Advanced?
Yeah, refined, I think. And so never spend more than, like $12 on a bottle of wine.
I say they make really good wine down at Carlos Creek. Just get some of that.
Yep. So anyway, here's a good story about a professional diver. We hear these returning of the ring stories. It seems like a lot. Retrieved a diamond wedding ring lost by Jacqueline Page in a lake in Texas. Page was visiting the Sandy Beach area with her son's baseball team and realized her ring, dating back to 1910, had fallen into the water. That would be awful. Despite initial searches by the team and family members, the ring remained elusive. So here's a guy of Blue Diver Search and Recovery. He assisted in the search, facing challenges due to rough waters caused by high winds. After calling off the hunt, this guy said, not going to let that beat me. He returned the next day under calmer conditions and, believe it or not, located the ring. After, imagine, the whole team, you know, who knows how far they buried it, you know, walking around. But anyway, he did find it, believe it or not. She expressed, of course, incredible joy on social media, relieved and grateful for the recovery of her cherished ring. So you like to kind of hear those stories.
Anytime I go in the water, I take my ring off.
Do you?
Yep.
I don't ever take my rings off. I think I've taken them off when I've had surgery, and that is about it. Otherwise, they're on.
Yeah, mine will just slide off. So it's just one of those things where it's like I'm more worried about losing it than I am anything else.
Well, have a couple sandwiches and a few more pieces of cake, and pretty soon that ring will fit just fine.
Somebody said, "Yeah, you'll develop a fat roll there that'll hold it into place." And I'm like, because when I first started wearing
a fat roll on your finger.
That's what they said.
Oh well, yeah, maybe I do have one.
And it'll hold it into place, but mine'll just slide right off.
It will?
Yeah, just.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, it will slide right off.
Yeah.
If sometimes mine will. Right now, not so much. In the morning, it probably wouldn't slide off. Okay, I don't know if I agree with this. A study finds that AI in the workplace improves worker well-being. I don't know about you. Anytime I hear AI, I think, ugh, stop. I don't know.
I like those Stormtrooper and Bigfoot videos.
You do, huh? Well, anyway, it says, pardon me, AI-heavy jobs experience better physical health and well-being. What do you think?
I mean, we're starting to use a lot of AI on our end, yeah.
I don't like to hear people say that. Just because it's time saving, or
time saving.
Okay. Thankfully, I kind of wanna be dumb in that regard. I kind of burying my head in the sand a little bit.
Don't want to see Skynet being launched.
Well, I mean, I just feel like AI is taking over so many things that I think a lot of jobs are going to be lost because of it. Or even if your job is not lost, your job is going to change dramatically into something you don't want to do. And I realize if you want to keep your job, you got to roll with the punches. Yeah. But, you know, you've probably been doing the same thing for 30 years and you love your job, and now AI comes in and everything changes.
Mm-hmm.
That is no fun.
I was talking to Derek yesterday. We were discussing some AI things, and I kind of mentioned the Stormtrooper videos and the Bigfoot videos. And he said, you know, he thinks that the next evolution of AI, the next step, there's going to be movie services or video services where you just like say, you know, I want to see this kind of movie with this kind of plot, you know, with this kind of attitude or whatever. And then it'll generate it.
Really?
Yeah.
Like you'll make your own movie?
Yeah, here, Derek's going to hop in on this.
Okay.
Just wanted to slightly correct you on that. It was Zach who was saying
that.
Zach.
Oh, okay. I thought you were in here.
No, we were in I was in that conversation.
Okay.
But I'm one of the people who thinks that while that might happen, I don't think it's going to do very well because the stories aren't going to be. It takes a lot more humanity to tell a really good story.
I guarantee you AI is writing the Hallmark movies because they are awful and they're all
terrible,
the same.
And they're all exactly the same, just the names change.
Right. Well, I knew you were in the conversation. Okay, so I was having that with Zach. Zach was.
You know what? I love what you just said, Derek, and that is
the humanity.
It takes a lot of humanity, and I hope that is always the case. We want humanity in on things. You know, I mean, we need that human touch. We need that,
Because I've seen a lot of these videos that Dave's talked about are similar ones, and while they can be funny and this, there has to be such a human element to it, and to create a good story. You need the people who know what they're talking about, know what to put in there to even generate that.
Yeah.
So the idea that what Zach was saying was the idea you'd be able to put your own idea in there. It would not be, most people's, it would not be good. You would put an idea in there and it would be a mess.
And if you feed it all the details, then you know how the movie ends. That's no fun.
No.
Yeah.
But surprise me.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that idea at all. I'm sticking with humanity here today. I like humanity. So thanks for that, Derek. I'm going to hang on to that today. All right. Well, that will wrap up a Wednesday already. I like when he comes in and
Corrects
says something. Well, yeah, and corrects you. That's great. I especially like that. But says something cool like that. We need a lot of humanity. I'm going with that today. All right. So have a great Wednesday. Our show today and every day brought to us by Pioneer Care and by Fergus Falls Monument Company. Have a great day.